Hello everyone, welcome back to the DIY Gourmet. Here to try it again. Apparently last time it looked good, but it did not have the audio in it. We've got ourselves an exceptionally hot pan. This pan is preheated. It's definitely what you want to do when you're making almost anything, because otherwise the pan, it's how things stick. If you don't preheat a pan, things are meant to stick. If you overheat it, you're going to burn it. But if you underheat it, it's going to stick. I guess that's the two opposites of the end of the spectrum. Now this is going to be exceptionally warm. We did take it off the fire onto the absolute lowest heat, but luckily the pan responds well, and it wasn't exceptionally burningly hot to begin with. So now we are toasting a croissant. We're going to be using the other side of this croissant, and if you get your butter just right when you're melting it in the pan, it almost turns into a browned butter, and that gives it even more of a flavor, which is always a good thing, because browned butter is an amazing flavor if you've never ever had it. And so we've got the bread covered, and we're going to do this low and slow on the toast. When you have a well preheated pan, you can slowly heat the toast and it will cook exceptionally well. We're going to use the lid because we want to trap the heat, the water vapor that comes out, and then we're going to keep it inside. So that way it helps keep the bread softer while it's toasting, so it doesn't turn into a chewy crisp. It turns into a flaky crisp, like it probably had when it came out of the bakery. And if you're reheating a croissant and putting it into a sandwich in the morning, lunch, or whenever you prefer it, quite frankly, and you're going to reheat it and do so with a toasting on it, then you're going to want to make sure and use a lid on a pan. And that's so that, again, it heats evenly, because it's great to have that bottom flavored crispiness that comes on the face that you've cut from the bread. But when you have the bread that's properly toasted along with it and properly heated along with it, it tastes pretty amazing. And that's what we're doing right here, is to allow it to have that flavor. It'll have the toasting and it'll be caramelized, but the bread won't just be an afterthought. Now we're going to check it out here. It's starting to toast already. That's why we have it low this time. But that is the point. And now, if it does toast too fast, this actually brings up a good point. You can bring it on the other side and keep that heat low. Now, the heat is low, and I'm going to go check the streaming real quick because I'm still working out the bugs on how to stream live. I'll be right back. All right, I've checked in. Apparently we found a good place and a good bit rate and all that other fun stuff so that we can cook. Way to go. I am happy to have seen that happen. Now we've got that side sitting for just a moment, and that's going to give it good heat on that end. We're going to turn it back on that side, finish it off, turn the heat up just a little higher. The point is, as you toast just about anything, you're going to want to make sure to control the heat properly. If you have an overheated pan, lower it a little bit before you add your ingredients, but not so low that it sticks. And if you have an underheated pan, turn up the heat a little bit before you add your primary oil, so that when it melts in, or when it liquefies more in, it is at temperature when it has contact with the pan and food, and it creates the buffer, because that's what the oil is. It's a buffer in between when you're toasting, browning, sauteing, or just about anything else. And having that buffer is going to be the difference between sticking and the difference between burning and having dryness. And those are both exceptionally important points to keep under advisement when you are dealing with breads and toasts and just about anything in general, especially when you're using a regular stainless steel pan. Now, non-stick is a little more forgiving, but stainless steel by itself tends to not be. And so having a preheated pan is going to be even more important during those times. And so as we wrap up here, and it starts to achieve the crispiness that we're looking for, and we'll bring it up here. And yes, okay, that's a little hot, never mind. I am going to have to find something to hold that one. we've got it just about the heat where we like it, if it's coming at that level. And so as we pick it up here, we'll point out that we've got the toasting all along the edge that we like. It's a little light in the center, and that depends on the level of how you cut the bread. If you squeeze it too much or if you don't squeeze it enough, bread can be rather fickle. Meat can actually be too like that, but not quite as much as bread. And so I'm patting this along to help get a little toasting on the final bits. Both sides are very hot, and this is just about done. So I'd like to say thank you very much for watching the Do It Yourself Gourmet Live. I do hope everything came through nice and clear, and the reception, or the resolution didn't lag out too much. Thanks again, everybody, and Do It Yourself Gourmet. We'll see you next time.